Okay, welcome back to the Dune Buggy build, the Cancer Awareness Dune Buggy build. I just want to go over a few things in this scene before I start painting. Like the engine. If you remember, under the chrome, it was molded in translucent purple sparkles. And some people, I think jokingly, said, you should build it that way. Well, just to give everybody an idea of what that would look like. I'm not going to build it that way. So I'm going to get pretty creative. I'm going to kind of go out of my comfort zone because this is a cancer awareness build and we need to get as much orange on here as possible. This shield here, I'm going to paint orange. Now the rest of the engine I'm going to paint some shade of silver or gray or, you know, metal color, steel, what have you, but this thing's going to be orange. And it's going to have, I'm going to leave the valve covers chrome, and oh, who knows, I'm going to kind of decide as I go. But the biggest thing that I'm scared of right now, of course, no reason to be scared, you can always correct anything you're doing, but I'm going to paint the backbone orange, but I'm also going to paint this front axle orange, and I'm having trouble visualizing that. I keep looking over here at the box and you can see the axle sticking out there. What is that going to look like if it's exactly the same color as the body? I really don't know. But I'm going to be leaving the wheels chrome. There's just going to be subtle chrome features like the wheels, valve covers, headlights. Like for example, the most of it's going to be orange or what's it called, flat black. Anyway, I'm getting ready to paint here. Dashboard's going to be orange, orange backbone, orange bumper, orange rear control arm mechanism thingies, whatever you might call them, and orange shroud. Steering wheel will not be orange, and the engine won't be orange. Oh, now here's the gas tank. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to say. I am not going to leave the hood openable. I'm going to glue it shut just because I want a more solid shelf model. But the gas tank goes right there, and I'm debating whether to even finish it. I glued the halves together and sanded the seam, but I suppose maybe you'll be able to see it up under the wheel well. Why not? I'll install it. But then I'm going to glue the hood shut right on top of it. And here's a little note. I've sanded out all the imperfections there in the paint, but there is, and getting ready to polish. But there's one part. Why won't you focus? Okay, come on. Oh boy. Okay. Here we go. There. Now if you can see right there, I sanded through. So this being spray paint, I'm going to have to spray a tiny bit in a cap and get the brush on it and just try to cover that spot and then re-sand and re-polish and correct that. We'll know in the next scene whether or not that worked. Well, there should be a lot more orange in the next scene. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. The parts are orange. Very, very, very orange. This is a bold contrast on these colors, and I like it. So, I put the backbone on the floor pan just to show what the contrast is going to look like. Give an idea of what I'm going for, and it's working. This is what I wanted. And so, yeah, there's the front bumper. As you can see, it's a bit bumpy. Put a little too much paint on there. I'll smooth that out and make that look nice. But I did hold it up against there, and I do like the way it looks. I may want to paint some of that. See where it's shining? That, it's not a firewall, but you know what I'm saying. I might want to paint that black just to give a kind of a background to the axle. for contrast, but I'm going to leave the sides orange on this one. So the dashboard is also painted and ready to go. These rear control arm type deals. I know I'm getting all the terminology wrong probably. But there is the shroud. That's what it looks like on the translucent purple sparkly engine. No, I won't leave it like that. That is about to get sprayed actually. So what I'm about to do here, oh I'm sorry, wow, look at that. I turned the contrast, the brightness way up. Then when you focus on a white part, it looks like it's glowing. So anyway, the seats are about to get sprayed flat black, along with the window frame up there and the front bumper. All going to be flat black, just like that piece there. That's the rear bumper. And then the gas tank is going to be painted a darker silver. Well, that needs to be a bright silver. Bright silver for that, and kind of a darker silver for these are the wheels. That's the front wheel. Those are the front wheel backs, and those are the rear wheel drums type deals. And believe it or not, those little thingies are the front wheel drums. They fit inside there and kind of glue right onto right there. And so all that is going to be painted silver, a dark silver, same color silver there as the engine, and then a brighter silver for the gas tank. And all that's about to happen right now. So the next scene, they'll all be painted. Okay, so now everything's painted. Well, most everything's painted anyway. I've got the wheel backs painted. Now if you're wondering what color that is this color here, one of my favorite colors. It is called Flat Steel, and it came in a set of paints that I think was for aircraft. But man, there were some neat colors in that set, and the flat steel was one of them, and that's what it looks like. Now, I'm sure I'm going to regret this, but I did not strip the chrome first. So far it's sticking pretty good. I was pulling these parts around pretty good, and so far the paint hasn't come off, so I'm hoping that will work out okay. So I'm happy with that. I've got the flat black parts painted. Windshield frame is going to be flat black. I can kind of hold it up there, but it mounts to the dashboard. Not going to be able to see that well. You can see what that's going to look like. It's going to be pretty nice. And then the front bumper is also flat black. If you can imagine that sticking out from right there. And here is a look, rough look. Nothing is glued, everything's just mocked up. But a look at how that front axle is going to look. And I'm happy I painted it orange. I think that's going to be pretty cool. Oh, speaking of which, on the orange, I did sand that corner. Where the, come on now. There we go. You see there? Now it's going to be ready for polishing, and it's still a little bit darker. I don't know why. But when you spray some into a cap and paint it on, it doesn't seem to be the same shade. But it's better than a white bleed through, so I'm happy. Yeah, other than that, of course, I painted the gas tank. As I had said, I'm going to be gluing the hood on, so that's only something that you might be able to catch a glimpse of up through the fender well. There is a look at the contrast between the seats and the floor and that bright orange backbone there. Really like that contrast. And now the roll bar is not painted because I couldn't decide what color to paint it. And I think, because I mean you can't, I don't want to paint it orange, and I didn't want to paint it flat black. It just seems like, I don't know. What you don't see so far is that there's going to be a lot of chrome highlights on here, like the wheels. The wheels are going to all be chrome still. And of course there's going to be chrome headlights and chrome taillights. Just little chrome accents, such as I'm going to be putting the chrome valve covers on the engine. So it's a little bit of a bold move, but I think I'm going to make the roll bar chrome. And see what that looks like. Won't know until I actually see it. Speaking of the engine is no longer translucent sparkly purple. And let me tell you, that was a pain. That is the same color as over here, the flat steel. And it was very hard to paint. This is the first time I had to paint. I did it, you know, with a brush. First time I had to paint an engine twice to get the coverage, because that translucent sparkly purple was bleeding through, just messing everything up. But it's corrected now, and I'm happy with it. And that will only get better and better as I add parts onto there. And actually, that is about it for this update. So I'm sorry you just got a rough idea on the mock-ups, but there's going to be probably one more episode kind of done like this, where I show the different steps, and that will be up in a week or two. This is going together pretty fast. I'm loving the kit. I already want to get another one so that I can make the Dune Buggy version of it, where they will have no body. You got to kind of imagine what that's going to look like. So that bumper would be on there, and then you would have this front roll bar that's just holding the steering wheel, and the engine would be showing. And so on. Of course, I'm getting into too much here. Where's it going to go? Something like that. I'm completely wrong. Anyway, the Dune Buggy would be really neat, so I need to get another one of these kits and build the dedicated Dune Buggy. But for now that I've dismantled everything, that is update number 1 or 2 or whatever it is. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one in about a week or two. But before then, there will be an update on the Trans Am. So anyway, y'all have a good one, and we'll see you then.